Hello guys, welcome back to yet again another reading vlog. So let's sit down and chat. Okay, let's try this. Is it gonna stay? Are we gonna fall over? No, I think we're good. I have a problem, and that is that no matter how many physical books I buy, I'm always going to read on my Kindle instead of getting through my physical TBR. And last night, I fully knew that I was planning on starting this book today for a reading vlog. And did I download a book on my Kindle? Yes, I did. Did I start reading that book last night? I did. I think we just need to accept that I'm not going to read just one book at a time. I'm always going to be reading something on my Kindle, even if I have a physical book that I need to read. So let's talk about the book I downloaded on my Kindle first. I was browsing the Amazon Prime reading. I do not have Kindle Unlimited anymore. I canceled that. So I was like, you know what? Let's just see what's on Prime reading. Maybe there's something, And I was just scrolling, browsing. I feel like scrolling on my Kindle is better than scrolling on my phone. So that's what I was doing last night. And I came across this book called Court of Winter by Krista Street. This is the cover, what it looks like. And I decided, hey, it's winter. It's not snowing where I live, but I have been kind of craving some snowy environment. Think like Narnia kind of vibes. And Court of Winter, it has to be snow. There has to be ice, right? That's in the title. I just assumed that this book takes place in a very snowy environment. And I was correct. I started reading this, I think I'm 3 chapters in. And so far, it is about a girl named... Is her name Elara? Yes, Elara. And Elara is Fae. And the Fae in this world all have wings and can fly. But Elara doesn't have wings, and so she's considered what's called defected. It starts out with Elara and her sister shopping in a market, trying to survive the winter, and you find out that Elara has a garden, which she grows in the back of their house, and she has gardening magic. So she's able to grow things even in winter, and that's as far as I've gotten. So that is the first book that I'm reading. And then, like I said before, I'm planning on starting Heavenly Bodies today. I have read 46 books this year, and part of me really wants to see if I can get to 50 books. So I'm not sure. We're going to try. We're going to see if I get to 50. I am now one of those people that folds their books open before they start reading it so you don't get a really big crease, crack. Is it extra? Yes. Yes, I'm aware that it's quite extra, but I do it anyway, and I like to do it. So we're going to fold my book open before we get reading. Guys, both of the main characters in these books are named Elara. What are the odds of that happening? In Heavenly Bodies, it's spelled E-L-A-R-A, and in Court of Winter, it's spelled I-L-A-R-A. But still, what is going on right now? I think I'm 60% through Heavenly Bodies. And one thing that I like about this book so far is that the female main character has shadow magic, and it's always the male main characters that have shadow magic. And this is the first book I've read where it's the female main character that has the darker magic. So that's kind of a fun twist I haven't seen before. So I'm really enjoying the magic aspect of this book. But I think I'm gonna pick up Court of Winter today and read a bit of this afternoon. But yeah, I thought it was crazy that both of these characters have the same name. And I've also been going back and forth between listening to the audiobook of Heavenly Bodies and just reading. And whenever the narrator does the voice for Enzo, I just cannot take it seriously. I don't know if it's because the last few audiobooks I've listened to, they had like a girl voice all the female characters and a guy voice all the male characters. I have been having a hard time with the Enzo voice, but I've been pushing through and listening whenever I'm busy and I can't like physically sit down to read. Can we just make a rule that any audiobooks produced from this point forward, they cast a guy to do the male voices and a girl to do the female voices, and they stop trying to have guys do female voices and girls do guy voices, because it just sounds so much better when they separate it out. Anyway, I'm done ranting, but yeah, I just can't with the Enzo voice. It just cracks me up. I have finished reading both Heavenly Bodies and Court of Winter. So let's start with chatting about Heavenly Bodies. This book really drops you right into the story. And in the beginning, it felt like the pacing was a little off to me. I usually like when stories jump right into the action, but for some reason, this one just felt off. So it starts off with this princess who's already been kidnapped, and she is being taken to an enemy kingdom. And so immediately I already had questions about like what happened to her parents, her family, how did she get kidnapped in the first place? And I just felt like the world building was a little lacking. There are like these stars who rule over this world, but I was a little confused about why there were some stars in some kingdoms. I just felt like I needed more history on this world, and I didn't get that in this book. But other than that, the ending was wild. And yeah, I was like, wait, what? The last 50 pages were just like, boom, 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 with things happening. I think I would give this like 3 out of 5 stars just because I wanted more history and world building, and I didn't quite get that in this book. But yeah, so there's that one. And then the second book is Court of Winter. And I was very pleasantly surprised with this book. I had quite low expectations. I didn't expect it to be that good. And I ate this book up. I read it in like a day and a half, and it had everything that I wanted right now in a fantasy book. In the beginning, the prince travels to this girl's small village, and he ends up taking her away to the capital. She doesn't know why, and he won't tell her the purpose of taking her to the capital. So she's trying to figure that out. And once she gets to the castle, she's kind of hearing like rumors, and she's not sure, something's obviously going on. There were so many tropes like traveling to an inn, magic, found family. There wasn't a lot of found family in the first book, but I have hopes for the second, as well as like enemies to lovers and balls and courts. And yeah, I just really enjoyed this a lot more than I thought I would. And the ending of this, I cannot wait to read the second book. I think I'm going to go download it right now to read after this. But yeah, I would give this a 4 out of 5 stars, more than Heavenly Bodies, because I'm going to say that I enjoyed reading this more than Heavenly Bodies, which is not what I expected, but I'm very excited to continue reading. But yeah, thank you so much for spending this week with me, getting some reading done. I'm going to end this video here, so I will see you guys again very soon.